Um, yeah, today is a day.
Well, there goes your social life.
Okay, I'm back out fresh on the scene. Franchise best on the team. Blue faces busting out the scene. New life is something like a dream. Back out fresh.
I'm getting a bit of a late start. And I have some things I need to take care of. I spent the last couple days like batch recording and editing and scheduling content and stuff. Work has been a doozy. And in the midst of it all, I've been getting really further along in this manuscript. So for this vlog, I think I'll just continue with that. I have some ideas that I'm working on and things that I'm working through with parts of the story that were already done. So I'm not trying to work backwards. I'm just trying to push through and get everything done. But in the midst of doing that, I'm devoting more energy to my editing, and not editing like while writing or going back and editing other things, but like getting into, because editing for me is not a strong suit. Like I can write all day long, I can go back and change things around and whatnot, but I mentioned in the previous vlog, several actually, how once this book is done, I'm now past the point that I've always made it to in writing projects. And so now taking the time to sit down and actually go through the manuscript and use these editing tools and trying to make it the best as I can on my own before getting an editor to look it over is wild. So I'll be doing something like that. So come with me on this editing / finishing up this book journey. Not a check-in for anything except for Jaguar 2, Victoria Monet's Jaguar 2 dropped, and I've been playing that. Like Leon Thomas's album, Hoser's album, Victoria Monet's that just dropped, and then like of course my playlist that I have for every manuscript. I've really been in like this musical space, this musical bag. Also CFO, like let's not sleep on that young man. So this is just a quick check-in to say, what music are you listening to? What music do you play when either reading or writing that kind of gets you into your space? Are there any new albums, any old albums, any reliables that you listen to? Let me know. But that Jaguar 2 is it, Victoria.
Back out fresh on the scene. Franchise best on the team. Blue faces busting out the scene. New life is something like a dream. New life is something like a dream. New life is something like a new life is something like a dream. New life is something like a I am not friendly, I came for the paper, little baby, don't get it confused. I see them paying the play, they be paying for my I'm paying my dues. They cannot see me unless I'm on TV, in times when they happen to turn on the news. I am not worried about with the money, cause you cannot buy with all of them views. I've been on 10 like 4th grade, same but I'm more paid. Lame throwing more shade, but you know it don't faze me. I'm blowing out gas to the whole whip hazy. With a new chick, cause my old crazy. Just a young player that the West Side made me, but how could you
Now, because I am so close to the end, I am finding myself going over my outline, laying out all the cards, and like tightening it up. I know that I'm gonna have to go through this draft and like just straight up annihilate a lot of stuff and move stuff around and change stuff and whatnot, and that's not a problem for me. But like I mentioned, I forget which vlog, but like this spaghetti junction of a space where all of these storylines are converging in on each other. I'm now at that point, and I have to be hyper vigilant about doing this in a way that makes sense and that's very clear, because I know what has to happen. I understand the order, but I'm a little nervous about things being lost in translation. So I want to make sure that like future me has a very easy time parsing out what's going on. Like in the other scenes that I wrote before, like there's nothing I could just put, oh, such and such, she do this, he do that, this would happen. Like I can write it out and then just like figure it out and go back and clean stuff up later. But with this, because this is like everything converging in on one, and you know, if you have this person speak before, or this point of view before, goddamn, then you know, you never know what, I don't know, I just try to make things easier for myself in the future. So this, though I am doing some writing, it's taken a lot of like, write down these notes, pulled from the outline, sit with them to make sure everything looks a certain way. I don't know if you guys do with this, but me as a writer, a lot of times I can just write, just everything that comes in my head and I can get it out. But other times I have to really sit in a space and act out what's going on. So if there's an argument or there's a fight, or we're just having an in-depth conversation, but it is at, I don't know, waiting in line for a picture with Santa Claus, or you in the club or whatever, I have to really sit with it and work out the movements in my mind and then translate that on page. And even if it's extremely juvenile or it's very plain and basic for the initial, like getting it down, that's what I've been doing, is writing everything out, sitting with it, translating it in my mind, getting it on paper, and then revising it and moving on. And so it's taken this portion that I feel like should be a little quicker because I'm at the end, it's taking it a little bit longer than I expected, and I'm not going to be upset behind it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to get this wrong. But on the other hand, it is an early draft, and there's going to be other drafts and whatnot. And I don't think about all this stuff with the editor and sensitivity readers and beta readers and this and that. It's like, it's a lot of stuff going on in my head. I'm trying to quiet all the other things to just get the story down. So right now, that's what I'm doing, is trying to just kind of follow through with this end, because we're right there at the end, y'all. We right there at the end. So that's what I'll be doing for the next, I don't know, a few hours until I can fall asleep.
I'll let you reload.
You know it.
I started over with how to write short stories.
So, writing has been going pretty good. I'm working on developing a plan. I'm speaking with, or spoke with rather, an editor. And what I'm doing now is going through the list of things that was suggested and things that were on my own list, and trying to kind of consolidate, get myself a timeline, essentially, is what I'm doing, because I am so close to being done, and I'm going to devote a bunch more time to getting some words logged. But like, that goes without saying. So now I'm trying to get like to the nitty gritty, the actual X, Y, and Z that needs to be done to make this come to fruition. And it's a little exciting. It's still a little nerve-wracking, just because I feel like there's so many things that could go wrong. But that's true about anything. So I'm trying not to let that stress me too much. And I don't know. So those of you who've already published and you've gone through the channels and the steps, and now your book is out there in the world, you know, offer some sort of, I don't know, advice, some words of wisdom, something. I do consume a lot of writer media, be it on TikTok, be it on YouTube, be it on folks' Patreons and individual websites and all that, but it's becoming real, and that realness is a little nerve-wracking, but I'm ready, I'm excited, and I am prepared, or preparing myself to accept what comes. So that's what I'm doing next. So I'll get into some writing, eat some food, and I don't know, just get ready.
Blame me, and how could you tame me? You can't pop in that you claim you a saint. Do what they can and they hate what they ain't. But I am the greatest, that ain't for debate. Raising the stakes and I'm eating them too. Hitters on deck, what you need them to do. All that talking, I leave it to you. Cause I gotta go, got a meeting at 2. Tell me why all of the that you saying don't never match up with that that you do. We mobbing and thugging, you and then bugging. There's nothing that we got in common. I've been out grinding and hustling, investing this paper. Got tired of eating that ramen. All of my music be heat, I ain't missing a beat. I've been blessed with impeccable timing. Watch all them people who friendly, it turn into envy.
Okay, so it's the next day. I got some words logged last night, and then I laid my butt down. But right now, I'm just shy of 80K. And I'm getting, like, I'm right at the ramp up before the big event. And like, it's good, but it's, I can tell that, like, for the enemies to lovers storyline, like, I'm here and I'm ramping up, and there is this long space before I get to, like, the big scene. And I'm noticing that, well, what I'm assuming is that I'll probably have to change some of this, not change, maybe like cut it down. I'm trying to get all my thoughts out so that I can kind of rework them and make them a little bit more concise the next go round, but I'm really close. The other two storylines are the same, but those are going to be more kind of immediate. Like this, I don't want to say slow burn. That's the wrong terminology. With the enemies to lovers one, it's taking me on a ride. Whereas the bully romance and the BBW billionaire, whatever, I'm going to just get to the end point. I'm going to get from A to B a bit quicker so that all this stuff can happen. So I don't know. I'm doing pretty good. I looked at the stats for this book so far as is. And as far as like pages printed, this book will be 356 pages as is now. About 5.5 hours of reading time. If I did audiobook, I'm assuming that's what this means. So I don't really take these numbers too seriously right now. Really just looking at the word count, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to get it done.
Envy whenever they see that you shining. Okay, I'm back out fresh on the scene. Franchise best on the team. Blue faces busting out the